Places to run to. Do, 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 do. All right, example 2 for 1-16. This is the last lesson of Unit 1, so prep yourself for a test and a review sheet. So, I cannot graph this equation just by looking at it because we have not solved for y yet. Make sure you solve for y first. So in order to get y by itself, I am going to go ahead and subtract 2x to both sides. 3y is greater than negative 2x plus 6. Divide all pieces by 3. And remember, when you multiply or divide by a negative, you need to flip that inequality. Let's make a note of that right in here. Remember, if you multiply or divide by a negative number, you must flip the inequality. So if it's less than, it would change to greater than, and vice versa. Here, I don't need to do any flipping because I'm not dividing by a negative. I'm dividing by a positive 3, so that's not relevant here. But there will be one on your homework that you have to watch out for. So y is still greater than negative 2/3 x plus 2. All right, so graphing that, I'm starting with my y-intercept of 2, positive 2. And my slope says negative 2 over 3. Negative 2 over 3 is rise over run. So I'm going rising negative 2, which would be down 2, and over 1, 2, 3. And I'm just going to go the other way, up 2 and to the left 3. Okay, so before you connect anything, double check to make sure if it's a solid or a dashed line. Because this is just plain old greater than and doesn't have a line underneath it, it's going to be a dashed line. So I'm just going to kind of make that a dashed line. Boop. Boop. Okay, and now the second new thing is that shading piece. So again, we're just reading that inequality. That says that y is greater than the rest of the equation. Greater than the y, wherever my y-intercept is, greater than that is above that line. So that is where the shading is. Make sure you're not being sloppy and scribbling, and but make sure that your lines go all the way to your line. So again, this area in the shaded part is our solution set. And this time, points on the line are not included because it's a dashed line. So points on that line, that point doesn't really belong there. Get rid of that one. Oops. There you go. So points on that line are not included. And that's, again, just because it's a dashed line, not a solid line. And that's coming from the fact that the inequality is not an or equal to.